My brain is gonna think in 3 languages right now. Let's try it. Let's go. Let's go. Can I do like this?
What is your experience with media and microphones and stuff like that? I don't know if many people know that side of it.
So my journey with media started when we started ParisLatino, or actually it started when I was 16. I made a music video in high school, but I just filmed. My dad helped me with some color grading and stuff like that. But with ParisLatino is when we started showcasing the parties through social media, and then we had to show something, and we had to film the events. And that's how I started learning about. I started first learning how to edit. That was my first step, editing. Me and Marcus used to steal some videos from YouTube. I used Vegas Student that time. And basically that's what we did. Took some videos and like some reggaeton parties from Europe, kind of cut it in a way that it looked organic, and promoted until we had our own content. Then when our parties became a little bit bigger with maybe 100 people, I bought my first camera, a Canon 80D, and that's when it started. Learning how to film, learning the technicality behind filming, like the ISO, shutter speed, this triangle they talk about. And the rest is maybe history. But did some music videos here and there. We do some content for different companies here in Kristiansand. We made, I think, maybe you can check on this, but have we made content? We have made content from companies in Oslo also, actually.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't even know this is makeup stuff. I remember I used my sister. She was like, "You like makeup? Now you're gonna use makeup." So that's like my journey with camera.
But you grew up, or your video journey started when you were quite young, maybe 10 years ago. What advice would you give, or what advantages does new videographers have that maybe you didn't have, and how could you advise them to apply those advantages if you have a 16-year-old that wants to become a videographer today, start his journey?
It's a very good question. Because even though I'm just 32 now, it is true that the game has changed a lot. Like the cameras the phones have right now, sometimes you don't even need like an equipment. So my advice would be take a good conversation with yourself and be honest with yourself if storytelling is something you like, because that's basically media, or especially film. It's storytelling. You gotta capture not just one image. You gotta capture 23 images every second, right? So you need to like that part of storytelling. And if you like that, then start with what you have. If it's an iPhone, go shoot something. And of course, I understand that when you're doing this, you like to earn money. So in the beginning, my advice would be do things for free. No joke. Knock on some doors. And maybe especially if you find a company that you like. It's like, hello, can I make a video? Can I showcase my talent? That would be my advice. Start doing like.
I think it's important to know all the technicalities of cameras.
Nah.
How was your journey with knowing the difficult stuff, or what is your experience?
I think the most important thing is learning by doing. That is the most important thing. You don't get to be a master in the beginning, right? So if you don't have to start thinking about the details. That's what I said. Like start with what you got. If you got an iPhone, then use the iPhone. If you have a little camera that maybe your brother or father has, so start with that and just get to know the equipment that you have at the moment. And then when you hit this ceiling, like, oh shit, now my skills are too good for this camera. My advice, and this is technicality, is then you gotta start learning about lighting. And that will be like my biggest, going back to what you said earlier, like one of the biggest things that I would tell a 16-year-old now, or maybe a 12-year-old, is learn lighting. Understand that everything that you're seeing right now here is based on the light. The light you get right now from the sun gives a good exposure to this. But if you are in a closed environment, like in a restaurant, then you will understand, oh shit, now it's very dark here. So now you have to fill in with light. So if you understand lighting, then the technicality of filming becomes a lot easier. in my opinion.
So, the people that are watching this video on YouTube, what are you doing right now? Like, what's your plan?
So the plan now is smart.
Say I'm a guy that just ran into this video. I don't know who you are. What can you tell me?
So what we're doing right now is we're walking towards a very beautiful spot here in Kristiansand, and we're gonna shoot an ad and for a party we're having in Reykjavik.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
who are you?
So
Who is this person talking?
my name is Daniel Flores. My full name is José Daniel Flores Sainz, son of José Eduardo Flores Medrano. I'm 32 years old, co-founder, now head of bookings for ParisLatino, Scandinavia's #1 Latin party, as you know. Come next time. That's who I am. On the side, love training. Very simple guy, I will say. Yeah, that's who I am. That's what you get to know so far. What is the second question?
To us, a little bit of how you work. What does your work days look like?
So, for me, these last 3 months have been very interesting. It's been a little, not 3 months, maybe 6 months. It's been a little change of dynamics in how I work. But we have two different pillars of working. We have our baby, that's what I like to call it, that's ParisLatino, me and Marcos. And then you have the way we help other companies in what we know how to do, which is marketing, digital marketing, storytelling, content production, strategies. It's basically helping other companies, because in this day, you know, when you have this phone, so many videos, you need to make good videos. So that's where I come in, and for the companies that we work for, we have to produce good quality content in order for them to get more clients, get more sales. So for me, I wake up, usually I like to take a cup of coffee, water, and I go sit down, start producing. That's when it comes to the client side. Of course, many times we have to go and film and shoot there. With ParisLatino, that's a little different, because then I get to be in what I like to call my inner child, maybe. Is this happiness, celebration environment that we get to create with the people that come to the events, which we must say we're blessed beyond imagination.
You're gonna film an ad for Reykjavik. Right now, where are you? What does the city mean to you?
Right now we're in Kristiansand. This is one of the southernmost cities in Norway, the biggest city in the south. As you can see, we have the ocean, beautiful ocean that goes into a river here, or a river that goes to an ocean. A city of around, I think it's 100,000 citizens, if I'm not mistaken. Me and Marcos, we moved here when I was 9, he was 7. So this city means actually home. This city saw us play football, saw us grow up. It means a lot. I'm very fond of this city. It is big enough that you can call it a city, but it's small enough that you don't get overwhelmed. Like right now, you get to walk and it's quiet, it's beautiful. You can of course go to the center, we have one street, you will see a lot of people. You can go to a big shopping mall. Yeah, but this city has given us so much, so many opportunities. I don't think we would be where we are without this city. Like, put it this way, it's a very small city, a very conservative city, but still we managed to pull ParisLatino from here. And the training we got in selling the concept to Norwegians, even to Latinos, that I'm gonna be honest, when you have a small city, there's a very the entrepreneurial journey sometimes gets a little bit difficult. People don't like to stand out. Like if you go to a big city like Barcelona with millions of people, it's because you're not gonna meet those people every single day. So you have a little bit more of guts to do something, to try something new, to be an entrepreneur. But if you live in a city where it is very compact, the chances that you're gonna meet people, the same people, many weeks forward, is very, very strong. So you get a little bit like nervous. When me and Marcus, we went out there and we did what we did, crashed sometimes. But the training this city gave us, I think helped us a lot in everything we have done so far. What's the next question?
Now going to film. What are you gonna film today? What's the purpose for your filming?
So today we have actually changed roles for this day. Usually I'm behind the camera. So the director that is behind the camera right now, that's usually the DJ, he's gonna decide. But we're gonna shoot an ad. Like we're gonna do a giveaway, as I understood, for Reykjavik. We're having a party there in April. So we're gonna go to a spot that gives you this Nordic vibe. You have stones, you have the ocean, you see the sky is a little gray, so it matches, with all due respect, with the environment and the colors of Iceland. Because Iceland has this white, gray, almost stone-like color. Because it's an island made of volcanoes, right? And it's very cold in Iceland.
What was your impression of Iceland coming from Norway?
Well,
You feel it's different.
it was different. It was different. Like my first impression was the nature, the landscape. It was very dry. It was very flat with very highlighted mountains. And it makes sense, as I said earlier. It's an island made out of a volcano. If I'm not mistaken, it's one of the youngest islands we have in the world. But when we got there, of course, you see people that look like Norwegians, right? It's like, hey, I swear to God, I could have seen this person in Kristiansand. They look a lot alike. The language, though, is very different. The language, as I've understood, it has more roots with the Vikings. It's more Northern, as we all like to call it here. And I was a little bit fascinated because the Nordic people, they have history. Like the Vikings were the Vikings. They knew a couple of things. So I was very happy that, imagine, I've been living here for 24 years, now 23 years. And it was thanks to ParisLatino that I got to see that beautiful country. So looking forward to going back there.
What does Nordic culture mean to you in general?
Well, the Nordic culture has become a part of my culture. So in a way, it is me, and I'm part of it. It means a lot because there's things within Norwegian or the Nordic culture that I like a lot. There's also parts that I don't like so much, right? So I try to find a balance between the Latin culture and the Nordic culture. Let me give you some examples. Nordic culture, you have this unwritten respect for other people's privacy and space. It's just something that you grew up with. Like, if I'm going to talk to you, I'm not going to go right here. I'm going to give you an arm space, and then we can speak, we can interact. Another part is like in the buses. I've spoken this before in a podcast me and Marcus did, and that blew up. It's like, you don't talk with strangers in the bus. You're just like, you need your time for yourself. Some other beautiful parts of Nordic culture, which I like a lot because I've seen it with my eyes, is what nature means to them. Nature means a lot to the Nordic people. And I believe that's because we live in a place in the world where we have 80% of the time it's cold and winter. And you have 20% that is like the summer. So when you get this, like the summer time, I was gonna say summer vibe. When you get the summertime, It's like, okay, let's go out on the boats, let's go out on to the small islands, and they love it, right? But then also when they get to be out in the nature in the winter, like in the Easter time, it is also a very beautiful thing. So they have a very big connection to nature, I would like to say. Does that make sense?
How was it for you to, first and foremost, what kind of Latino are you, and how was growing Latino in the Nordics?
Let me put the mic here because just to make sure. Can you do the question one more time, my friend?
What kind of Latino are you?
Whoa! I would like to say a good Latino. So I'm. I would. I cannot say honestly that I am 50-50.
But what's your species?
Ah, what's my spear? You're talking about like my roots and stuff like that. Okay, okay, of course. I'm a Latino from Bolivia, from Cochabamba. I'm mixed. My mother comes from the Amazon part of Bolivia, and my father comes from the valley. So, Bolivia representing para todos los bolivianos, representándonos ustedes en Noruega. That's my Latino heritage.
What kind of you connected? Did you say to your Bolivian roots?
Not as much as my brother, that I must be honest. I'm a little weird species in that sense. I love that I'm from Bolivia. I love the country of Bolivia. I'm blessed enough that I was born there, and me being born there, when I come here, I become suddenly very unique, very exotic. One thing that I regret, but then it's a give and take, right, in life, is that I didn't get to grow up in Bolivia, so my framing of life is more Norwegian than Bolivian. But that goes without saying when you move here when you're 9 years old. Though with ParisLatino, what happened is that I had to kind of relearn and rediscover a lot of things of not just Bolivian culture, but Latin culture. Marcos, that's filming right now, we're different in that aspect. From he was 15, 16, he had this hunger for Latin culture, for Latin music, what happened, history. So he was more well prepared when we started the ParisLatino journey. For me, I'm very grateful for ParisLatino in that aspect also, because it gave me an opportunity, it gave me a purpose to reconnect with Latin culture, with my culture.
How has that impacted your identity, being Bolivian in Norway?
Good question.
How would you say, what if somebody that is fully Latino doesn't understand, and somebody that's fully Norwegian, and they ask you, what's it like to grow up between two cultures?
It's fun, challenging. Let me explain why.
Remember to always repeat my questions, because people are not going to be listening to my questions.
True. So what it's like being Latino and Norwegian at the same time? Was that the question? Growing up in a different country with a different culture, a different background, it's interesting because you get to learn. Now let me put it this way. It starts always as challenging.
How old were you?
I was 9 years old when I moved here. So it depends also how old you are. Very good. It depends how old you are. The younger you are, the easier it becomes. The older you get, the difficult it becomes, because as you grow older, many of your habits, many of your of how you see life, your filters become more and more part of your identity. For me, I was so lucky that I was just 9 years old. So I had barely being done with being a child. I was going yet to go into my teens, right? So the challenging part for me moving here in the beginning was, so how was it growing up in Norway, coming from Bolivia, having two different cultures.
It's the Nordic Latin experience, and you're a testimony of it.
Basically, so the Nordic Latin experience, it's knowing that you have warmth within. You come from a place that objectively, it's a lot of parties, a lot of family tradition, a lot of music. Music is a big part of Latin culture. Coming to a place where the system is established. What the Norwegians, what the Swedish, what the Scandics have done is very well. And everything has it up and down, right? So when you get to this Nordic Latin experiences, whoa, I'm in Norway, I'm in Sweden, I'm in Finland, I'm in Iceland, and I get to be part of this beautiful society, and at the same time, I have this warmth within, and that is a beautiful thing. It comes with challenges, of course. In the beginning, as when I was a kid, you will experience a little bit of bullying here and there. But I mean, everybody should. In my opinion, you need to have a little bit of hard skin, especially if you're a guy, my opinion. But the older when I grew up, it was like, I started feeling more and more Norwegian with time. Because of course, you speak Norwegian, the TV you see is Norwegian, music you listen to is pretty much Norwegian. So if, I'm not gonna say this for certain, but if we didn't make ParisLatino, there could be a chance that me personally wouldn't have this connection to the warmth, to the music, to the culture, to the history of Latin America. Because imagine, it's not just Bolivia I'm talking about, it's a whole continent. Argentina, Chile, Peru, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Brazil, Venezuela. We can go the whole Bad Bunny, like when he said all the countries, right?
Talk about that.
It was, I loved it so much.
The Super Bowl.
It was one of, for me, it was the best Super Bowl so far. I saw some clips from different Super Bowls, Michael Jackson Super Bowl, Rihanna Super Bowl, but nothing beat the storytelling, one of Bad Bunny, because you have his music, and what he did, he took you through a storytelling. Through his songs. He didn't play the full song, but he played enough that you got the song, right? Number two is what you saw. Holy, it was like, if you think of the production, it's very complicated, but it was not like a wow, a big production. It has his house, su casita, the typical plantation plants, right? And it was him, doing him. But what maybe was the most impactful was the last part when he says all of the countries. And he said something that for me has always been a little bit like, don't you get it, people? America is not the United States. America is the whole continent, from the south to the north. And it's always been for me like, why don't even we Latinos, or like the people from the south, like, hey, say, whoa, are you referring to the United States when you say America? Or what, right? Because I hear often like, I'm traveling to America. Okay, we're in America, Texas. Bro, like, if you said I'm traveling to America and I ask where, and you say Colombia, I was like, cool, because America is the whole continent. That's what it divided in three: North America, Central America, and South America. Make sense? That makes sense.
We get this framework, we stand still, and wow, we're in a Norwegian neighborhood. What is some of the things that you respect about Norwegian or Nordic culture in general?
What I respect about Norwegian culture,
Nordic culture. I think they're the same.
they have endurance. You have to have a psychological and emotional endurance to survive the winter. And that you get to see in many things of what they have built, right? Like the society they have built, the welfare that this country has, the health system that it has, the safety net that a person, the safety you feel when you move here. You know that you can lose a job, you can lose a lot of things, but still you feel safe. And that's a very difficult thing for a country to do. That's one thing I respect a lot about this place. Number two, maybe not like Singapore, but Norway is Nordic countries are very clean countries. People are self-aware, like don't throw garbage at the streets. And if you have a dog and you're walking your dog, and your dog takes a crap,
You see Norwegian people with a little bag and they pick it up and throw it in the garbage. That's why I'm not having a dog in Norway yet. But that's like the two simple things. 13, like right now, Norway, we're going to the World Cup. So I'm very proud of what you have done, because imagine this. I come from Bolivia. We haven't been to the World Cup since 1994. When I was born the year Bolivia last went to the World Cup. Norway hasn't been in the World Cup since 1998, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, like, it didn't matter which country was living, like, we don't go to the World Cup, right? And now for the first time, like, Norway has already qualified, and Bolivia may qualify too. So I'm proud of the Norwegian team right now. If we look a little bit on history, as I said, the endurance this country has had, Norway wasn't always a rich country. Norway became a rich country in the late 60s when they discovered the oil. And you have two beautiful examples here. You have the example of England, the UK, and Norway found oil at the same time in the same spot. So they divided this big oil place in the ocean. And you can see how those two countries have developed over time. Norway has become one of the richest countries in the world, while the UK, not so much. And you have to give credit to the Norwegian people of how they have managed their country. Of course, as I said earlier, nothing is white and black. There are gray zones and everything. There are things that I agree with and things I don't agree so much with.
What do you think Latin people can learn about Nordic culture?
Latin people can...
Vice versa.
What Latin people can learn about this culture, it will be maybe... So what I think is, let me put in these two examples. Latin people, we may sometimes live too much in the present. And Norwegian people have the capacity to live a little bit in the future, so they plan for longer things. And I think that also goes a little bit what I told you, like the weather. We have to understand that weather influences a lot of culture. Here, because you have the 3 months of warmth, you have to plan for what's coming. You know winter is coming, like Game of Thrones. So that is one thing that gives Norwegian an edge. But while in South America, you know, it's always warm, it's always party time, it's gonna be a good, it's gonna be okay. So we live too much sometimes in the present. So maybe the Latinos could learn this mindset of thinking ahead, planning for the darker times, for winter, even though we don't got it. Now, what could the Nordic people learn from the Latinos? The most important thing I would say is warmth, is this connection between people that I sometimes see lacks here. We must understand that we are social animals. We need to be with people. And loneliness is, as we have understood, loneliness is one of the biggest or most dangerous things that can happen to a human being. So if Norwegians could learn more about, like, if I meet somebody, I'm gonna give them a hug. Like, just that, we start with that. A hug. Instead of just like, hello, hello. Hey, come on, give me a hug, son. I don't know you, but I will create right there a connection. Next time I see this person, hey, we hugged last time, let's give another hug. And then you create a culture of hugs, which I support. Culture of hugs, we should create that in Norway. Gonna start that from now on, culture of hugs, believe me, we're gonna change that.
We're almost in the spot. What are you gonna do right now? What's the plan? What are you gonna say? Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes about that.
So, this is me being honest. I know the technicalities behind what you see right now, right? Lighting, framing, stuff like that. So what's gonna happen now, I'm gonna ask the one that's filming is, how can we present the pitch, the presentation, the ad right now? Because he got technicalities of how to sell something. So right now we're gonna find a cool spot. I'm thinking we're gonna do some couple of takes, present the thing, like I think it's gonna be a giveaway.
What are we gonna sell?
what we're gonna say.
What's this event about? You gotta understand that maybe people are watching this. They don't know what's happening. like, what's this about? What are you selling?
We're not selling anything right now. We're gonna give away tickets for our coming event in Reykjavik, the 11th of April, at Nordics. We're gonna give away. We haven't decided how many tickets, but I imagine it would be cool for regular and maybe for VIPs. And of course, to be part of the giveaway, you have to follow the account and share the message, right? So tell somebody, like send them a DM or help. Please tag them so we get the algorithm to help us, because it's fun, it's good. But that's basically like the giveaway. And
Comfortable in front of camera.
thank you.
Between being comfortable in front of camera and making these types of ads.
So I would need to direct you to a TikTok my brother made about exactly how to be good in the camera, in front of the camera. My advice is, I'm gonna steal a little bit of what he said earlier in that video, but you cannot care. You need to be a little bit, it is what it is. It's very easy to say, like, don't be nervous, because for me right now, I don't get nervous. But for somebody that cares what other people think, it's very, be careful. Others like, boom. It's very easy for me to say, don't be nervous. If I need to give an advice on how not to be nervous, is don't take life so seriously. We're all gonna die. So why care of what people think? They live their own lives. And I would like to give you the framing of the following. Always when I talk with our clients, when I talk with people about marketing, stuff like that, I'm a believer of this. So, wait. I will start speaking from here. So, the thing is, the day you get a lot of wind, just so you know. Let me see if we can do it like that. Okay, I hope that wind doesn't cover. So the thing is, to not be nervous is always use yourself as an example. Think of now the most embarrassing thing you have seen somebody do. You were walking in the street and suddenly you see somebody fall, right? Or they drop their pants, something, anything weird. And you laugh. Oh, people do that. How much did you think of that scenario? How many times again and again and again and again did you think about it? Maybe 3, and then your life came back on. Had to go home to your kids, had to deliver the homework, anything. So you don't think so much about that thing that made you laugh some hours ago. The same happens in the other way. If something I'd say right now is very embarrassing, you that are watching are most definitely gonna think about it maybe 3 times. And then you're gonna forget about it and continue with your life. But if I made those seconds of you thinking about it stop me of doing an ad, taking on a project, beginning or trying to sell something new, I will stop myself because of what you think. So you need to frame that, like, if I do something bad, if I make a fool of myself, how much time are people gonna think about it? And it's usually much less than what you think they will. So that's like a tip of how not to be nervous.
Can you tell us about the weather right now?
Now we have Iceland weather. This is what Iceland looks like. Marcus, you pick a perfect spot for this ad. Woo! Holy shit. So now we're here, and we're not queer.
A little more down, a little more down.
A little more down.
You're right.
Holy shit.
Just get a little bit of the island. So, what can you tell us about the weather?
If you haven't been in Iceland yet, Norway presents the weather of Iceland. Windy, a little bit of darkish gray colors, but still beautiful. A little bit of cold also, to be honest. We're heading to spring, but it's still a little bit cold.
Okay, so we're gonna do the ad now.
Let's go.
Better check if the sound is good with all the wind.
We have to try it. Have to try it. I will speak loudly.
All right. So first and foremost, tell us what are you gonna say? How is the ad gonna be?
So I'm gonna try with a lot of energy. I will do a quick like hello. What up? It's Daniel here from ParisLatino. Then I'm gonna go ahead to. Right now it's cold here in Norway, but I'm getting used to what we're gonna do in Iceland, something like that. Go to the what they can win, which is the tickets, and what they have to do in order to win, how they participate, following us and tagging some people.
Remember that people are gonna see this, not only Icelandic people, but all Nordic 5 countries are gonna be seeing this giveaway, even though it's just for Iceland.
Yeah?
So I'm thinking we can give 4 VIP. I think we give 8. Let's do it like this. How many winners should we have to make it interesting?
4 winners.
4 winners, 3 tickets each.
4 tickets each.
We only have room for 40 people with the VIP. We can give up to 15 tickets.
Then we give 1 winner gets
4 winners, 3 tickets.
yeah, better.
Times 3 is 12. 12 tickets in total.
That's 12 VIPs or 12?
12 VIP stage.
12 VIP stage, okay. 4 winners, 3 tickets.
4 winners, 3 tickets each.
Perfect.
All right. So now, are you prepared to do this ad? Like, what goes through your mind right now?
Try not to mumble. That's what goes through my mind right now. Try not to mumble. I'm also trying to think how I'm gonna present it, the energy level, happiness level.
What is
So-
gonna be your call to action?
My call to action.
Comments.
Oh yeah, of course. Follow and tag yours into the comment section.
Follow and comment.
Follow and comment. Okay, let me go ahead and try this one. Okay,
First and foremost, do you even have a script?
right now I don't. But we're gonna try. Okay.
All right.
Hoo,
First take.
I'm cold. Drago! Drago! That's from Rocky. Okay, are you ready?
Oh, you're ready.
3, 2, 1. What up, Reykjavik? It's Daniel here. We're coming back to Nordics, Reykjavik, the 11th of April, and we want to give away a giveaway. So we're gonna throw away 4 winners that are gonna get 3 tickets each, VIP tickets. In order to participate, all you have to do is, of course, follow the account and tag yours in the comment section. So I hope to see everybody. Take it. Otra vez. That was crazy, bro.
I don't think you should say throw away.
Keep away. One more time. Okay, 3, 2, 1. What up, everybody? It's Daniel here from ParisLatino. The 11th of April, we're returning to Reykjavik at Nordics. So we're giving away 3 VIP tickets to 4 lucky winners. In order to participate, you have to follow the account and tag yours in the comment section. So, see you there next time. Bye-bye. Holy shit, that cold.
And then when I come to you, you just do that.
Let's go. Oh, what up? I didn't see you there. It's Daniel from ParisLatino. Yo, the 11th of April, we're returning to Reykjavik at Nordics. So, we're gonna give away 3 VIP tickets to 4 lucky winners. In order to participate, you have to follow the account and tag your friends in the comment section. So, I hope you win. See you there. Bye-bye. Otra vez.
It's better if you say harpa.
Harpa.
Harpa
Okay.
is a better word than Nordics because I don't know how to pronounce it. You say harpa.
Okay.
And then, yeah, let's just take it from the top. I'll fill in the water, bring up the energy. 3, 2, 1.
What up, everybody? It's Daniel here from ParisLatino. On the 11th of April, ParisLatino is returning back to Reykjavik at Harpa. So, we're gonna give away 3 VIP tickets to 4 lucky winners. In order to participate, you have to follow the account and you have to tag your friends. Much luck! I see you at Reykjavik. Ciao.
I love it. Let's do one again where you just disclose where you are. So you say that you are in Kristiansand, Norway. It's windy, it's Nordic weather, and then just or something like quick where you are. What's your message?
Okay.
So we continue rolling. That's a beach spot. Filming the waves. Very Nordic. Very Nordic. In 3.
So right now, as you can see, otra vez, rápida. So right now, as you can see, I am increasing.
In 3, 2, 1.
So as you can see right now, I am at Kristiansand, Norway. Very beautiful weather, almost summer. And what I would like to tell you is that the 11th of April, ParisLatino is returning to Reykjavik at Harpa. So we're gonna give away 3 VIP tickets to 4 lucky winners. What you gotta do to participate is very simple. Follow the account and tag yours in the comment section. See you there. Ciao.
We wasted a little bit of time, but I like it. Let's do one last time. Just keep yourself there. I'm just gonna do like a full ocean background. Let's just drop the Kristiansand thing and do like you did before. Just say harpa.
Okay.
The second one was perfect because the painting was harpa. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is beautiful. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go.
What up, everybody? It's Daniel here. Verga. ¿Qué es lo que dije antes? ¿The 11th? Era directo, ¿no?
Break 2.
Okay.
Take reminder. Giveaway.
Nice. It's okay.
Wait a second. All right. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
What up, everybody? It's Daniel here from ParisLatino. On the 11th of April, we are returning to Reykjavik at Harpa. So, now we're giving away 3 VIP tickets to 4 lucky winners. In order to participate, you have to follow the account and tag your friends in the comment section. I hope you win. We see you there on the 11th of April. Ciao, ciao. It's freaking cold. My rico.
Let's change location.
Sí, vamos un poquito más allá que mis orejas me están dando frío.
No.
No, mi pelo.
Pónmelo otra vez a mí.
Sí. ¿Cómo están los focos? Yo lo agarro. Nice.
All right, how you felt that went?
Good.
Cold?
I mean, it's one of the first time we do an ad in this weather. Fun. A little bit of cold, of course. But what is life if it's not a little bit of fun, right?
Let's go.
Wow.
You choose the location.
Whee! This way. I'm getting prepared to my hiking journey in Iceland. I'm gonna climb a volcano. Well trained. Vamos. Woo, woo. ¿Cómo se veía?
Muy cool.
Se vio cool. ¿Cómo se el presentation?
Hey, on April 11th, we come back to Reykjavik. So we want to start with the giveaway. We're gonna give. I just take it. 4 VIP with 3 winners.
I think we can do it again. It looked cool in the lobby. Porque se salió viendo, no quiero que se vea en la cámara.
Pero no quieres hacer one last time, tal vez ahí sentado en ese banco.
Pero vamos a hacer tal vez, si no se ve bien lo que hacemos ahorita, vamos a hacer uno más ahorita sentados en el lobby, donde hago la presentación, sentado. Si no se ve bien, we come back tomorrow, filmamos una vez más. Yo también creo que está bien.
Lo único que a mí me tal vez preocupa es esto del autofocus.
Ah, pero eso. Where is not? Por eso tiene lo que se llama AI for Enhancer en DaVinci. Like,
So how did that went?
I think it went very good. I'm very happy with my presentation. If I can be a little bit honest, this is not an insecurity that I have. But it's very important that for everybody to know your own weaknesses so you can work with them, on them. One of my weaknesses has been the speech. I have a tendency to sometimes mumble a little, not talking clearly. So when you now mix that with a little bit of windy, a little bit of rain, a little bit of coldness, you get a little like, ooh, now I gotta present it. But I think I did a good job. And again, me and Marcos have been doing this for, how many years have we been doing ads on the camera? 6?
4.
4. 4 years. There's so many people that have been doing this so much longer. Gary Vee, as an example. How many years has Gary been in front of the camera?
20.
20 years. So think of that. Like, if you think, if somewhere in your brain you think, whoa, Daniel, you did this very great. I'm a beginner. So it takes very little time to reach this level, to be honest. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I think many people sometimes overthink a lot. And overthinking is good. You need to overthink in order to survive. But remember, life is not about surviving, it's about living. So don't overthink so much.
Or what kind of perception? You're kind of famous right now in Norway in general. What kind of perception do you think people have of you when they see you on stage or in general? In other words, how does it feel to be famous?
How does it feel to be famous? What perception people have of me? I think that's one of the most difficult questions to answer. You don't want to come out cocky, but you don't also want to be, oh, I'm too humble, because facts are what facts are. I think they see a dude that they cannot place me. That's what I genuinely believe. Sometimes people look at me and like, I cannot put you in a box. I don't understand you. I'm not just speaking for myself, but I think both Marcus and me are very humble. We're very down to earth, thanks to the values our parents gave us, what the values life gave us. At the same time, there is this, when I'm trying to explain this, there's a concept that's very difficult. Is a lot of people have seen my face. They have seen Marcus's face in things like we did earlier, a giveaway. What up, everybody? It's Paris from ParisLatino, blah, 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 blah. And of course, they have seen me in days where my mood was top level. They have seen me when my mood was maybe not top, but I had to pretend, act a little, fake it till you make it. So they have this sense of, I know you, Daniel. I've seen you so many times. I've seen you on my phone. So there is this disconnection when we meet somebody sometimes, and they cannot place me because I don't want to think that, oh, I'm famous. I do me. My back to the gym, I walk, I say hi to people very humbly. I'm like, but aren't you famous? Aren't you supposed to be like that? But no. There's been a couple of times, and I would like to underline this part. Those couple of times that I felt, and it's not fame, I felt acknowledged for something that me and my brother have built. The feeling that I had is great, grace. So grateful. So grateful. I don't think so many people sometimes understand. And me and Marcos haven't lived like, oh, the big struggle of that so many people have. Like, look at the Kanye, like his documentary. Like, But at the same time, we have gone through our part. And when we now sometimes say, hey, very cool party you have, I'm coming to your party. They say that at the store. I'm like, whoa, we're gonna party with them. They've been to our party, right? And that gives you fulfillment. That makes you happy. So it's not so much of that I'm grateful because they recognize me. It's more that I'm grateful because the acknowledgement you're giving us right now is for what we have created. That is what is the most beautiful thing.
Do you remember the first that you ever felt a little bit famous? You shifted things.
The first time I ever felt a little bit famous, I think it was in Oslo. It had to be in Oslo. It got to be one of the times that somebody said, hey, you're from ParisLatino. It was random in the street. Like, you're like, you understand if people say that in Kristiansand because it's a very small town. But when you go to a capital and suddenly you know you're going to meet people from all over Oslo and around it, and suddenly they say, hey, I saw you. And it's so random because you see around there's maybe like 3,000 people walking all directions. That was very, whoa, that hit me.
Do you consider yourself an artist?
Everybody's an artist. Just like people haven't realized that everybody is an artist. So yes, I do consider myself an artist. I have my art. I know that you're there filming, have an art, and you that are watching, you also have an art. The thing that we're afraid of is expressing the art. Some people are very good at drawing. Some people are very good at singing. Some people are very good at dancing. Some people are very good at building. Like, if you see this building, very squared, but it's art. Somebody had to design how this is gonna look. And the expression they made becomes the result. So I think everybody is an artist. Like, I think that's gonna be a sauna right there. If you look at it, somebody had to design that. The person that designed it was an artist. So, yes, I'm an artist. And my art we are fine-tuning my art. Being a DJ is an artist, right? You're not singing, you're not playing instruments, but you're taking music and you are mixing them, right? So, yeah, that's my answer, bro. Everyone is an artist. I don't think I need those numbers.
Very secure on stage. You say people, have you always been secure on stage? Did you always belong on stage?
Are we gonna talk astrology right now? So, personal experiences. So,
What was the first time you were on a stage?
I was maybe 7, 8. First time I remember I was on a stage was with my brother. We were rapping a Christian song in a church in Sweden, in Göteborg. This was back in 2002, I think. So, I haven't been nervous. I'm not a nervous people. Marcus said it very well in a video he made earlier, and I really sometimes believe that I embody this thing that is the Eminem attitude, that I don't give a fuck. So, I really don't. So when you don't care, it's a little bit easier. I have been nervous I'm not afraid of being on a stage and talking. But when I have to do things on stage that I'm not very sure of, then I become a little bit nervous. Example, I'm not nervous of presenting a topic. Let's say I'm going to present something about history for 1,000 people. Let's go. I can do it. I'm sure about what I'm presenting. So when I started with, not presenting, but when my rolling on stage with ParisLatino was a little bit more than just pushing a bottles beside Marcos, yeah, that was a bit scary. But I grew into it.
Give us a quick timeline of all of your musical experience life. Starting with 2002. That again,
So, 2002, we're living in Bolivia. It's 1 year before we moved here. And or I think this is maybe 2001, because you said my whole history with music. My father has worked with music since he was a kid. So my father was gonna produce a Christian evangelical music album for kids. from his church. And of course, he being the producers were like, I have 2 sons, and you best believe they're gonna sing on this album. So, took my brother and me and made us sing a couple of songs. This is my first time being on an album, so just so you know, I was in a music album when I was, I think 7 years old, 7, 8. Then we moved to Norway, on his wedding, with these songs of this album that he produced, we got to perform them at a church in Sweden. Recorded it in Bolivia, everything mastered in Bolivia, performed it in Sweden. I was international before I knew it. Shit, now they make me think of it. Wow, the Matrix is real.
Let's try to do a quick recap and then we can go into the whole thing.
Okay. So let's do it quick. In Bolivia, 2002, we make an album.
Start with the question.
With a question. My musical history trajectory throughout life. In Bolivia, 2002, my father produces a Christian album. Me and my brother participate in this album with 2 or 3 songs. Moved to Norway. Move ahead. I performed these songs with my brother in a church in Sweden. When we moved to Norway in 2003, then I don't have so much about music. I don't do much music. It must have been, we moved to Oslo. No, wait. 7th grade. 7th grade in Norway, I played the drums. I remember in a talent show. So, 2000 and something, I played some of the drums. Moved to Oslo, come back, no music. I play. You know what? Holy shit, now you make me think of it. I've always done a little bit of music. In Oslo, we had a school that was very into making the kids play. So we had like a concert every month. Then I played the guitar and the bass and the drums again. Moved back to Kristiansand, this is 2009. I have liked this feeling of playing a little. My brother is very good at Guitar Hero and he's taking this Guitar Hero knowledge into the guitar. So we make a little band on our school and we play a couple of shows. We won this talent show in our school. This was 9th, 10th grade. Then we played some concerts. We played in a Christian camp here in Norway. And at this same time, when I'm 15, 16, that is I'm blessed with the energy of Eminem. And I started writing rap songs. Some in Norwegian, some in English. And I was lucky enough that, again, gracias papi, he had some equipment at home that you can record, like very simple Cubase, a MIDI box, and a mic. So I started recording some rap songs in our living room. It was fun because then we started making some dissing songs with some guys from another place called Vennesla here. I see those guys sometimes in the city. It's very nice to see you guys. I'll see them now. This when I'm 16, 17. I stopped a little bit with the bass. When I'm 18, I don't write no more. I don't record no more. So maybe I dropped music, if I'm not mistaken, until we start ParisLatino, but I'm not in the music. Marco has control of the music. That's where he shines. So when I'm 27, if I'm 27, maybe 27, you can correct me if I'm not mistaken, my role changes and I receive a stage, basically. Because me and Marcos, this is no joke. Marcos played the decks, and my job was very simple. It was try to follow his beat and just shoot the CO2s out, right?
So how long did you do that, and what was it like when there was no CO2? What was your job then?
So my role in that time, it was going to the club, setting up the stage. Because
what is your ParisLatino role from the first party and then where you are now?
So, in the beginning, my role was to edit some videos so we could promote the party. Evolved
in the party, in the actual party.
in the actual party.
What was your role in the actual party from the first event to now?
So the first party, I had a Huawei phone, and I had to use that phone and film because I didn't know my father's Canon, Nikon camera. I didn't understand, so I know my phone. So I was like going there, filming, using a little bit of flashlight, going there. And when I understood that Marcus needed help because the deck suddenly stopped working because his computer didn't have the capacity to handle everything, I just got the mic. Everybody, thank you so much for coming. It's been a very beautiful party. I hope you're having fun. That was my job. That's how it started as a host. It's like buying him time for him to reset everything, right? It's like, okay. So when I see him, he's good. I'm like, okay, let the party continue. Tequila race. That was part of my job. It's announcing the tequila races. A tequila race was a concept that me and Marcus came up with in a plane, where Marcus had this one song from Pachanga called Tequila. Tequila! And the thing was that while Marcus was playing the song, the bar was supposed to have 2 for 1 on tequila shots for everybody. So we wanted people to get drunk, right? I think it worked a couple of times. So that was my job, presenting like, everybody, no, we have the tequila race, go! And that got to evolve a little into presenting sometimes the genres. Like Marcus was gonna tell them that right now we're gonna play this type of music. So it was that, and filming in the beginning was 2 things. Grab the camera, try to find the good angles, sometimes go upstairs helping the people that were on the door. That was in Gatsby, that was in Östia. Gatsby was a very small club. Östia was the music hall of the university. The same in Rederiet, the same job, record a film, say something words on the mic. At the same time, of course, setting up everything before the party was always part of my job. Once we go to kick, then my job starts to be a little bit different, because suddenly we now have the capacity to hire people that are going to record. Because then we started involving some equipment like CO2s, some DMX controlled effects like smoke jets. And we didn't have a stage because the setup of the party wasn't, you didn't have you had the booth ended and then you had the people. So I don't know if I'm speaking out of line or I'm speaking true, but I don't know if you feel comfortable grabbing the mic. So because he didn't feel comfortable, then I had to grab the mic, send everybody ready, like create some vibes. Let me check just one thing. Perfect. So that was my job. It was very weird because sometimes I felt that I didn't have much to do. Because I had like a little box with 4 buttons. When you press one, then you shoot out some gases. And then you have another one where you can connect sparks or smoke jets and just like up and down. So for me it was like, when is Marcus? I gotta see his decks. It's coming out a drop. Grab it, brrr, and do those little things. That goes throughout with Oslo in...
But you also didn't know the songs, right? That was another difficulty of yours.
Yes! Going back to something that we spoke earlier, like, because I had to relearn or understand the Latin culture, especially the urban music, when I was 24, 23, 25, I didn't know the lyrics. Like, give me Eminem songs, and I've listened to that since I was 15. I know some rap songs, but the reggaeton I didn't know so well. So there's one video out there. I think I say Daddy Yankee in the songs from Don Omar, or vice versa. I said like, I'm ready for Don Omar. I think the song is Daddy Yankee, something like that. So for me, it was in Kick, it was more presenting the songs and trying to. So people in Kristiansand knew me and Marcos. They know we speak Norwegian and we can speak Norwegian. We always spoke Norwegian to them, even though we had Latinos or internationals, but we are in Norway, right? So we spoke Norwegian, but when Marco was playing, I was trying to sing along some keywords in Spanish, because that's my first language. And this part doesn't evolve so much until our it was our first booking. Until our first booking, thanks to D. Rashid that booked us to Amsterdam. And that's where my little role changes, because then Rashid tells Marcos, you have to play with CDJs, like the professional DJ setup, equipment, decks, and mixer. Marcos had no clue about how to play on them. And then he tells me, Daniel, in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, you have to be the MC, because here culturally, every DJ, every club has his MC, the hype man, the presenter, the host, the person that's gonna connect with the people. And I was like, I have grabbed the mic, but I haven't been on stage right in front of the people. So that was my first experience. I was shitting my pants that time. Because understand one thing, for me in Norway, it's very easy, because my concept is, I know the city now, we know each other. So if I go to Kik, I go to Oslo, any countries, like I can speak Norwegian. And they will understand me, like, hva skjer alle sammen, blah, 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 vi skal ha en fet kveld. And it's easy. People have seen so many ads of ParisLatino. I genuinely believe, and that's because a girl told this to my father in Finland, that she was so proud that a Norwegian concept had come to Finland. So I believe that Norwegian people embraces now ParisLatino as a concept that comes from this country. So I feel safe here. First time in Amsterdam, they don't know who we are. It's a big ass festival. You have big names that go there, like Rashid is closing the show. You have, like this year, I think Afro Bros is coming, right? It's a very big festival, 40,000 people. And me and Marcus are gonna play there. And it's gonna be my first time that I'm gonna grab a mic on a stage and I'm gonna try to bring some energy and dance a little. So that was scary, but we did it. And that was a pivotal point for me, because then I kind of embraced it. I felt more secure. I understood my role. And it's, to be honest, it's lately, the couple of weeks that I had like an epiphany. I understood that what we do is not just make a party. What me and Marcus now bring to the table, bring to this environment, is we bring energy, we create energy. We don't just play music for you to drink and dance to. We come with the purpose of elevating energy and creating a vibe where it's not just partying, it's celebrating. We're alive, we're breathing, we're here. Imagine we're supposed to be here, so why not just celebrate and enjoy these hours we have together? And now I see my role is like, you have to be, Marcus has to think. He has to analyze the people. What music can I play next to keep this energy, to keep this storytelling with the music that he has chosen to pick? And my job then becomes, then I have to give my energy to you, so you feel it, you feel seen, you feel heard. And only then we create a memorable moment together. And that's what life is about, right? Memorable moment. I think there's a bike coming. I don't know what you think about it.
Why are you doing all this content
Why? Because we're now operating in several countries. Norway and Sweden, we kind of understand each other. Not to a perfection, but kind of. Danish, in the written language, I understand Danish. I can read Danish and understand. Once they start speaking, my beautiful Danish people, I don't understand you. And vice versa, I imagine you don't understand me. So now the messaging cannot just be Norwegian or Spanish. It has to be for everybody. And English is, as far, the most international language we got. And it's a very good practice for me also, because I need to practice English, no joke.
That's in Denmark. You haven't been there before.
Copenhagen, we're coming to you. ParisLatino, it's gonna be fun. Denmark, yes. I've been in Denmark a couple of times, played football tournaments there when I was a kid. Have a great party weekends at Aalborg, as I can remember. You Danish people tell me all about it, you know. But now coming to that country with ParisLatino, I think that's gonna be yet another milestone. We have,
Nervous.
I mean, yeah, so I will never really lose the nervosity, how you say that in English? Tal vez con ese que no está tan mojado. So,
Right, nice.
I will never actually I will never stop being nervous, right? But more than nervous is excitement. I think sometimes we just mix those two words. Are you nervous or are you excited? In both are basically the same physical emotion. So I'm excited for Denmark. That's gonna be a new like stepstone on this unforeseeable journey that we have. Danish people, shipping heaven. Oh, it's gonna be cool. Man. We're gonna play at the same stage that Cuba played at. And that is actually like, whoa. Thank you, brother. We are there. We are there.
What do you think about Denmark when traveling from Dublin? About your last experience playing abroad, not as a concert, but as a booking.
Bro, that was so fun. Chris, thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it a lot. It's over.
Repeat
Yes.
the context for the viewer.
Correct. So the question was, what do I feel, what do I think from our, after our last international booking where we don't produce the event, we don't organize it, we just come and play. First and foremost, a big thanks to DJ Chris, the man behind I Love Reggaeton UK, and right now one of the biggest DJs in that area. He brought me and Marcus to Dublin, to I Love Reggaeton. And it's very different in some ways because you don't have to think of the stress of organizing an event. You don't have to think about ticket sales. You don't have to think about logistics. You don't have to think about all the things that can go wrong when you organize an event. Of course, now the other thing that you now are challenged with is now you have to deliver, show your talent, right? You're being booked here. Give us a great show. So, Dublin was let us put it this way. It's very interesting. I spoke earlier about understanding this role of creating energy, of understanding what we bring to the table. And Dublin was a big part of it. I got to do something for the very first time in Dublin, and that is going off stage to the people, as an example. Me and Marcus got to present ourselves to another country, which not many people get to, and I'm blessed, thankful for that.